Hey guys, it's Jeff Keighley here at GDC with Patrick Bach from DICE. Patrick, you guys just unveiled Battlefield 4. We've got the footage up on the site. Tell us about this game. A lot of people are wondering, is this real? This is a real demo you're showing here at GDC?
Absolutely. We wouldn't show any fake footage or pre-rendered videos. We always show live software.
All right, so tell us about Battlefield 4. Obviously, you guys had a huge success with Battlefield 3. You just had Endgame just a few months ago that you introduced for Battlefield 3. So 4, how are you changing up the game or the gameplay for 4?
Well, when we finished 3, we had a lot of ideas on, what did go wrong, what could have done better, what was great, what could we build on. So looking back at 3, we're of course really proud, but there's a lot of areas where we find that we should go back and look at our roots. We think we could have done a better job by again staying true to the Battlefield heritage, and that's what we're doing now. So rewriting, more choice in general. It's also about you and your character. So it's not only from a core gameplay feature set. It's also about the narrative.
Right.
What is the experience of playing multiplayer? It's about you and your friends. It's about you and the buddies you care about. But it's also about rewriting AI from scratch. Making sure that it supports this freedom of choice. It's about letting you pick vehicles, pick weapons, pick gadgets. So there's a lot of things that we are changing to make this happen.
So is the idea then you can go through the level in different ways? I guess it's not open world, but there's more choice in that you can you can use a Jeep or you can use a car, or you can do a helicopter, and it's sort of you have a goal, but how you get there is up to you?
Yes, more or less. We want to keep a very strong and tight narrative because we think it's important for a single-player game to have that. But still, opening up for a choice, opening up with sections that is all about, what do you want to do? How do you solve this problem? But also giving you more tailored choice. You saw in the demo, for instance, do you shoot the window or not?
Now, Wrecker, shoot out the window. That's an order. Don't you fucking do it, Wrecker. Save yourselves. Get out of here. Get out of here. Fucking bullshit, man. You hear me? Shoot out the window or you all die.
We don't want to make those into cutscenes.
Right.
We want to have the player participate in those choices and be a part of them. Even if it's like you have to do it, it's still you that have to do it. Right. So we're trying to stay away from the cutscene, press X to win scenarios. It's more about having you being a part of the experience.
Now, tell us a bit about what we saw these 17 minutes. Obviously, lots of action, but I mean, who are these characters? How does this connect to the fiction of Battlefield 3?
I can't go into detail about the storyline and the plot, but in general, what you saw is the opening of the game. We want you to feel connected to the squad. We want you to be a part of the group.
So who is your character? Is that the guy in the key art? That's who you're playing?
Yes, the guy is called Daniel Wrecker. So that's the guy you're playing. He's a US soldier, and he is a part of a squad. And as you saw in the demo, your staff sergeant dies. So the leader of the group dies, and someone needs to take that role. The interesting part here is that we want to introduce you to the people around you in a better way than we've done before, and make you feel a part of the squad. And again, that's looking at multiplayer, where when you play with your friends in a squad, you have your personalities, you solve problems in your way, and the squad will help you, and you will help the squad.
So as you play through as this character throughout the game, there's a lot of hints of China being involved.
China might be a part of the game, yes, absolutely. It's a very interesting, place. Shanghai will be a part of the game.
Right.
And there's a lot of other things that I won't go into detail on right now.
Well, it sounds like you guys teased in one of the teasers last week that you were going to have submarines kind of underwater. That's going to be part of the game?
I don't think we teased submarines.
There was a teaser that came out with the back blade, sort of some type of water vehicle. I thought it was a submarine. It could be a boat, I guess. But
probably a water vehicle. That is probably correct.
I mean, obviously, you've got the squad, and it sounds like, as you said, believable characters is an important part of this storytelling. So tell us about, how you're achieving that, because there was that great scene with having to amputate the guy's leg. I mean, are there going to be story moments in this game that you think are going to be memorable?
Absolutely. That's again, when we talk about single player, we won't want it to be like a generic just gameplay. It needs to have a strong narrative. It needs to be about the people in the war rather than geopolitics. To us, that's very important, and you could see the characters how, of course, you know, the whole rendering, how they look, you know,
Right.
making sure that the whole Frostbite 3 shines through, but also from a narrative perspective, how are they communicating with you? What happens when you enter the room? What happens if you do something? How will they react? So it's actually integrated into all parts of the game, not only, you know, rendering, how we render characters, but also how they behave and react.
Now, is there going to be an element of choice too, in terms of like who's in your squad? Are there going to be moral decisions? I mean, how far are you pushing this kind of believability in the narrative? Because it sounds like it's still a linear story, right?
Yeah, we want it to be a very tight narrative, of course. We don't want to be like branching storylines, but we want to include the player in the choice. We want to include the player in the dramatic sequences, not just be a bystander looking at cool shit. You want to be a part of the action, and you saw that in the demo. You know, sliding through the building, shooting at guys, etc., etc. So we want to mix up the Battlefield style gameplay, where you have this big scenarios where you can choose your path, you can choose your vehicle or weapon, but marry that with really intense personal moments. Create this intimacy between you and your squad.
From a gameplay perspective, I mean, what are you most excited about where you're pushing this genre forward? Because shooters are very competitive. You have great-looking tech, but from a gameplay perspective, why do you think Battlefield's going to be remembered, especially the single-player campaign? Because that's what you're talking about tonight.
I think our single player will be remembered for being just that, a Battlefield single player.
Yeah.
Having all the elements that is needed to create a Battlefield game, but also then again married to the the dramatic moments that we've seen in like Battlefield 3, and creating that mix and that wide spectrum of events that we actually have in the multiplayer, and marry that with all the epic moments that you can get from a narrative in single player. And I think that will be something that is quite spectacular.
Well, I gotta say, the Frostbite 3 footage is pretty spectacular. This is all real-time, running on a PC tonight, right?
Yes, it was PC tonight.
Now, are you thinking that level of fidelity, are we gonna see that on like PlayStation 4?
I can't go into platform specifics for multiple reasons right now. But in general, Frostbite 3 is a very flexible and scalable engine.
Right.
Whatever hardware we get, we will get the most out of it. Because Frostbite 3 is platform agnostic. It's scalable to 7-year-old consoles. Right back up to the latest PC hardware.
But do you think you're going to hit the goal to hit 60 frames kind of across as many platforms as you can?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes. That's what the console fans want, right? All right. Well, we will hopefully hear more soon on Battlefield 4, but the footage is out there. Looks phenomenal. Thank you very much, Patrick Bach. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
You'll back me up, right?